Indy Mogul.
This week on Indy News, the new trailer for The Hobbit is missing half its frames, Gallagher in super slow motion, a cheap DIY camera slider, and I shave off my beard, transform into Mitt Romney, and talk about setting up an effective green screen shoot. Hey Indy Mogulers, Griffin here. Now tell me, do I look younger? I had to shave off my beard for a weird video project I'm shooting this week, and I'll tell you more about that in a couple minutes. But first, a lot of my friends are Lord of the Rings fans, and they're excited about the new trailer for The Hobbit, hitting theaters this December. Director Peter Jackson opted to shoot the film in 3D at 48 frames per second, double the frame rate of most films. What I find curious though is that the trailer is only 24 FPS, even though YouTube can handle 48. So I guess they don't want to spoil the surprise just yet, and you'll have to wait until the premiere to decide if you like this more fluid, realistic, high frame rate experience. Speaking of higher frame rates, here's what it looks like when you film Gallagher, the watermelon-smashing comedian, at over 1,000 frames per second. The new Phantom Miro can shoot 1080p at up to 1540 frames per second. Because the shutter speed is so fast, you need some really powerful lights to expose everything properly. And there's a link in the description if you want to read more behind-the-scenes info. These visuals are pretty spectacular, but it costs about $1,500 a day to rent this camera. That's not within my budget, but here's something that is. YouTube user RC Experimental spent about $30 on a DIY camera slider to achieve shots like this. After several precise cuts through aluminum bars, he used epoxy to build a 6-foot track out of L-shaped aluminum. Inside, another aluminum bar with 3 rollerblade wheels supports the camera as it glides down the track. The full tutorial is featured in today's playlist. This week, a weird video idea popped into my brain. I wondered what it would look like if Mitt Romney, the Republican candidate for President of the United States, made a rap video. To pull it off, I'd need 2 things I wasn't sure would work. One, I would need to turn myself into this 65-year-old presidential candidate. And next week, I'll show you how my wife Amy and our friend Sarah accomplished just that. The other challenge, a decent green screen shoot, something I don't have a lot of experience with. A while back, I bought a large cloth green screen on eBay for $100. That's a decent price, considering it came with 2 light stands and a bar to hang it from. And in my experience, trying to buy cloth this big, 10 by 20 feet, from a craft store can be pretty pricey. Russell uses a collapsible green screen, which is nice because it doesn't have the wrinkles that my cloth green screen has. It's important to have an even background, so the shadows of these wrinkles can cause problems. I'm using 2 DIY lights to light me, but my body will create shadows on the green screen. The umbrellas help by softening the shadows, but I'll need some dedicated lights on the green screen, so I picked up some extra clamp lights from a hardware store. I'm glad my green screen is so big, because it lets me stand farther away from it, reducing shadows. Plus, if it's out of focus, the wrinkles blend in better. Also, it helps me minimize something called spill. When light hits your green screen, it can reflect green spill onto things and people nearby. I set up my camera to shoot in its highest resolution and bitrate because the more data I can capture, the easier it will be to remove the green screen in editing. This process is called chroma keying, and the color we want to key out is green, but in the past I've also keyed out yellow to remove a rubber glove from this flying sandwich puppet. You can also use a luma keyer to remove the dark or bright parts of an image. So today I'm using the keyer filter in Final Cut Pro 10, which automatically recognizes the green I want to remove. Now I can place another video file underneath. If I change to matte view, it's easier to see what the key has done, what parts of the image it's removed. We can also see where too much light slightly changed the color of the green screen and how it's messing up the key. There's a bunch of ways to fix that. I could add that color to the key, or adjust the sensitivity of the matte. Final Cut has also automatically applied a spill suppressor. When I remove it, you can see a slight green glow around the edges, which is reflecting off of the green screen. Finally, to tweak the matte, I can expand or shrink the edges and soften them with some feather, maybe just a little.
I'm fly, I'm so damn high. Oh hi, can a rich white guy drop by?
I think it looks pretty good, and because I was thoughtful about the lighting, I definitely saved myself a lot of trouble in the editing. For more green screen tips, here are a couple videos I've shared recently from Bammo about setting up a green screen shot and also using After Effects for chroma keying. And if you want to get some practice with chroma keying, I've included a link in the description where you can download a video file from my Romney rap shoot. So if you want to play around with that, you can. And I also want your help as I finish up the video. When you think about Mitt Romney rapping, what do you want to see in the background? I could put anything in that green screen shot. So send me your stuff, maybe images or links to things I should use or things you've come up with, video files, anything you want to see in the background of the video. Send them my way at mogulermade@gmail.com and I'll be happy to use the best stuff. And if you want to make sure you catch that video when it comes out this week, be sure to subscribe to my personal channel and you'll get to see that right away. Next week on Indy News, I'm going to show you how to age an actor. It'll be a great way to kick off Mogul using the same techniques that we used to turn me into Mitt Romney. On this week's playlist, I have the new trailer from The Hobbit, Gallagher in slow motion, and the DIY camera slider from RC Experimental. Thanks for watching, and right now I'm going to kick it over to Marissa from onlinevideocontests.com with an update about this week's great contests.
Thanks, Griffin. The big news this week is that Crash the Super Bowl is back. And with the addition of director Michael Bay, we think it will have more explosions than ever this year. Your 30-second spot could earn you up to $1,025,000. Here's how it works. 5 finalists will definitely earn $25 grand and a trip to the Super Bowl, and the top 2 spots will be aired during the game. The director whose commercial ranks highest on the USA Today Super Bowl ad meter gets the added bonus of working with Michael Bay or his team on set for the next Transformers film, plus the possibility of winning an additional $1 million if you net the #1 spot. Adding Michael Bay to the judges table could make for an interesting twist on what will ultimately make it to air, so keep that in mind when you're brainstorming your entries. Our Moguler pick of the week is the Planet 5D Short Film Challenge. It's open to everyone, and the winning filmmaker will get $1,400 in filmmaking gear and $500 cash. They're accepting short films of any genre up to 30 minutes in length. Submit your best work or get cranking on something new and awesome. While there is a $35 entry fee, you can enter in the promo code OVC to save 25%. Which one are you most likely to enter? Let us know in the comments section below.